Hey guys, forgive us. I am having flashbacks of Straight Outta Compton. Anyhow, I'm gonna just keep popping here, keep going. Hopefully, people can see this, and if not, what can we do? I see some people in the chat. It's good. So
we're good. We're good, Jamil. We're live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube. Well, hello. Hi, YouTube. I'll quickly rehash what I was talking about. So I was discussing a deal that got sent to me or posted in one of our groups. And the comment was, hey, I really need some help on this property. I can't find any comps. And that same property was then sent to a number of students who all took their time and really looked. And then they came to the conclusion of there was no comps. And then a question was posted saying, hey, somebody please help me find comps. And that deal was then sent to our support team. Our support looked and said, hey, there's no comps. So the reason I bring it up is not because I, don't think that it's valuable to address this, deal. I think what's important for us to understand is that if there's no comps, there's no buyers. And if there's no buyers out there, then there should really be no reason why you're doing business in that market. A lot of you guys are staying in pieces or parts of your backyard because of comfort, because of familiarity. And in a market like today's, where the buying pool has adjusted and pivoted and shifted their approach, their numbers, and where they're deploying capital, you as a wholesaler have to be nimble. You have to be able to go with the flow and move with the current. And that's exactly how a successful wholesaler will thrive in today's market. We have the most incredible opportunity available to us right now, which is being able to be a buyer where there's no buyers, where there's fewer buyers, right? Where real estate agents are not having their phones blown up by investors, where homeowners are not having their phones blown up by investors, where the MLS is sitting stagnant with opportunity. All of these ways of going and finding deals are available to us. And if we understand the techniques and the tools and how to actually go about bringing those opportunities into play, we can make a tremendous amount of money. All right. So today we are going to use the beautiful tool Privy. For those of you that have not yet downloaded Privy, I'm concerned about your health because why would you continue to come to these streams, and why would you come and be a part of all of this learning if you don't have the tools, right? It's like me going to learn how to build a deck, but I don't want to buy a hammer. I don't get it, right? So, guys, Privy is one of the most incredible real estate tools that you will ever use. And we have a discount available to anybody who is going to use Privy or hasn't signed up for Privy yet. You're right. It is great, and it's only getting better. Absolutely. We're gonna go through and discover what kind of lists Privy has. It's got so much more that it does beyond what we've shared with you guys. Like, you guys have seen me talk about MLS. You guys have seen us talk about 30, 60, 90 day on market. You've seen us pull agent lists. You've seen the algorithm that Privy has built in, identify really good opportunities. But right now, it can also get us data, which is extremely, extremely important. So if you want to save some money on Privy, go right now and sign up. It is the link is in our chat here. Do it while we're just getting started in the morning, right? So have this tool available. So if you have not yet signed up, don't be that person. Don't be that person, and click on the link and sign up and use the word COMPIN, COMPIN, to get a 20% discount. I would highly recommend going with the annual because you get all that money off up front. And then Benson provides an incredible amount of additional support and training that he bolts on for all the annual users. So if you already have it, there's a good chance that you already used the coupon code if you got it from one of mine or Pace's live streams. So don't worry about it. You probably have already gotten your discount applied. And if not, well, I'm sorry. That's the reason why these promotions happen. It's they're not retroactive. So unfortunately, that's not how it works. But feel good that you have it anyways and that you've had a head start. Yeah, we there for the questions in here. For those asking, do we teach in astro flipping how to incorporate privy into our business? Absolutely. If you come to the coaching calls, I'm always talking about time blocking and how you should be running privy first thing in the morning in your market to determine what houses are sitting on the market right now that are 30, 60, 90 days on market that appear to be good opportunities. And then also look at what privy sends us that just got listed that could be a good opportunity, and then reaching out to those agents and making offers. So that is the best way of taking advantage of privy and how it can help you out. But we still have never dove into the data pool, the data that privy has available to it. And that's something that we're going to be doing today, is looking at the data and then possibly seeing if we can go to any direct buyers or direct sellers using privy. So that's going to be super exciting. And I'm excited to explore that. But before all of that, we need to determine what market we want to work in. So that's a part of what we'll be doing today. Now, normally, guys, if you are paying attention to the things that I do alone, I will always start these things off in a prayer. And I believe that anything and everything that we want or need in our life will find its way to us through our source when we ask and take a step towards it. And that means action, people. You've got to take action. Okay, we are not living in a world of wishes. We are living in a world of action and intention. So if that makes you uncomfortable, by all means, you can mute me. No problem, because some of you guys send me emails and messages telling me that you don't like that I pray, and that's okay. I still love you. But if you'd like to join us, here we go. Father God, we love you so much, Lord. Thank you for today. Thank you for opening all of our eyes and giving us breath, for giving us the minds to connect and communicate with each other. Lord, we're so grateful for that. God, we pray that you guide each of us to your purpose for our lives, so that the steps we take are your steps, the words we speak, your words, the actions we take, your actions. God, we ask that you guide us to those individuals that will be of benefit to us, either through a financial gain or a lesson that we could learn. And we pray that you deflect us from those individuals that could waste our time or bring us harm. Lord, for any of our family members here that are in need of any additional clarity of the concepts that we will go over today, God, we just ask for perfect clarity in their minds. And for any of us suffering through any physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual pain, we just pray for perfect healing in our lives. And Lord, it is with humble hearts and in your heavenly name we pray. Amen. All right. Let's roll. Benson, how are you, bro?
I'm good. Can you see me?
We see you. We hear
What's
you.
going on?
Smell your cologne.
You can smell my cologne?
Yep. Do you wear
That's just my
cologne
body
when
wash.
you're alone?
No, but I've got a Old Spice, and everybody thinks it's cologne. They're like, "Wow, you smell good. What is
Oh,
that?"
it's that underarm deodorant you got.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yep.
what smell of underarm deodorant do you use?
I don't know. It's like the blue sport one.
Okay, I
It
use the
smells
green
delish.
classic.
Mm.
I'm a
Yeah, you're
classic man.
retro.
You're a sporty one.
You're an old soul.
Something like that. I smell
Yes.
like your grandpa's grandpa.
Yeah, they use the Old
Good
Spice
to
back in
see
the day.
you.
You too, man.
You know, it's always fun to talk about. You know, it's funny when I run into people who wear a cologne when they're alone. You know that person has a lot of like self-love because they want to smell good for themselves. You know?
Yep. Or the ego, right? The ego is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the ego or just trying to feel good, just trying to smell good for me. Benson, good to see you.
Yeah.
And
Good
we
to see
are
you too.
excited to look at some of these incredible features that we have available using Privy, something we haven't really explored before with the community. And I think that's
Mhm.
important for us to look at.
Yeah, it is.
And
We normally focus on, a couple key things because we're so focused on the challenge. There's always a goal in those challenges, right? And so we do, drill down on specific things that we do, which is great, right? Because you want it to fit with your approach, right? You teach a very specific thing and it's unique to all of the other groups that are out there. And I've appreciated the ability for you to do that. But we do a lot more. And today I wanted, help people kind of connect the dots about some of the other things that we do that would still wrap into your overall strategy that you teach with Astro, that will help them just kind of see the bigger picture and really get drilled down into the data and how the data can help them make better decisions and ultimately find more deals and save time.
Love it. Let's get started.
Cool. All right, let me get in here and
Again, guys, if you don't have Privy yet, there's a link in the chat. Go download that thing. Don't go sign up. Don't be weird. Just watch. Like, you're like those people that watch people play video games. Don't do that.
it's a $1 billion industry. They're making a ton of money. It's pretty insane.
What
But
people
what does that
watching
say about
people play video
our
games?
yeah.
I know they do that with my wife. But my wife's hot, so I understand why they'd want to watch my wife play video games because she's hot. But
Right.
but why would you want to watch a 15-year-old play video games? A 15-year-old boy or girl play video games? That's strange.
It kind of is, but I think it says a lot about where we are today in society, what people's mentality is they'd rather observe, as entertainment than actually go and do it. Because guess what? If you do it, you might fail, right? You might play that game and not win, right? It's kind of cool to see people win a lot. And that's why people watch sports and that's why they watch these reality TV shows and, all the movies of these things going on and people winning. And that's kind of what I want to do today, because part of what we do is we show you people that are winning
Mhm.
through data, right? We show you that people are winning through data so that you don't have to go and recreate the wheel. You can literally just look at what other investors are doing to have success and then emulate that success and reverse engineer it and then put that same strategy in place in your own business.
Love it.
Um, but before we go there, I want to mention a couple things about the data, right? Because we're not the same as a lot of other platforms out there. We've got some great competitors. We got companies like Batch and PropStream, and there's a handful of others that have some similar overlap with what we do. And that's what you would call here, if you look on the map, it's like the third party data. It's data that you can use in a pinch to run comps on a property. You can find out owner information, mortgage information. We're going to use some of that data today to try to locate potential buyers or sellers. But also you can get that information to find off market leads, right?
Right.
So you mentioned earlier about the off market and how, it
Yeah,
can be an
let's just
extreme
say that you're
challenge.
living in like BF Georgia right now and there's just nothing going on over there. So I'm just let's pretend I want to know where's the most active market right now for cash buyers.
Yeah. So what you're going to do here is at the top, you're going to click this button right here. And what you're going to ultimately going to see is it's going to plot on the map where all those areas are at. But what you're going to want to do with Privy, if you want to get the maximum value and you want to find the least path of resistance, is try to target high investor activity areas, number one, and areas where we've got the direct to MLS data. That's the thing that
Mhm.
separates us from the competition.
Yeah,
Anywhere where
because
you
I
see
keep hearing,
blue.
people say, when are you going to come to this market? When are you going to come to this market? When are you going to come to this market? My question to them is, why not use it in markets that it's available in right now that have incredible volume? Like, why are you
Mhm.
waiting? Meanwhile, everybody else is out there doing virtual deals, like scraping money off the top, and you're just waiting.
Right. And it's like, it's getting to the 21st century, right? So people want to be like, oh, yeah, I'm forward thinking, I'm using data and all this, but they're still only looking for deals in their own backyard, which is like, that defeats the whole purpose. You
Right.
go to where the ingredients are to build a deal.
Right.
And I don't think that most people realize how much power they have in
Let's
actually
talk about
creating
the
deals.
ingredients of what make a deal, Benson, because I think that's an important concept.
So the ingredients are, number one, fix and flip activity. So right here at the
Absolutely.
top.
So buyers, we need to make sure that there's people that are buying discounted properties, that there's availability of discounted, like distressed properties, that there's
Mhm.
investors interested in coming into those markets and deploying capital and fixing and flipping, that there's still a high level of sales in those markets. Because right now we've seen in some submarkets, for instance, in my market of Phoenix, any flip right now that's priced between 750 and like 1.5 million dollars is dead. sitting, pooched, nothing. You were refining
Mhm.
out of those deals and just holding them until the market rebounds. But if you look at the price point of 500 and below in Phoenix, it's popping. And there's all
Right.
kinds of flips being sold. And so if I'm a rehabber, I'm going to be focusing on doing my acquisitions below 350 and below so that I have enough margin to make some money. So
Yep.
let's look at that kind of data. Benson, where is there some
Yeah.
high volume of fix and flip?
So when you look at the map here, you can see that there are certain areas that have higher amounts of volume. Wherever you see blue with large circles and high numbers, those are areas that have higher amounts of activity going on. There are some areas on the West Coast where you see some decent activity. There's some areas in the Midwest. I see areas like right now I'm sitting in St. Louis. The reason why I chose this market is because of the data. Indianapolis, where Emily's at, right? There's a good amount of activity. Look at Chicago, Cleveland.
Wait, are these murder rates or fix and flips?
It's a little bit of both. Yeah, someone always has to get killed during a good fix and flip. So there's some correlation there.
Got it.
Um, though Atlanta is pretty good. Philadelphia is one of those good markets too. It actually has right here has more than any other area, and this overlaps. It crosses the Delaware into southern Jersey as well. But it's areas, and this is one of the things I want to highlight is that it isn't going to be like, okay, here's a zip code that you want to go to. It's areas because fix and flip activity knows no borders. It just goes where it wants to. It's like it water, right? It just sinks into those low areas, and you want to view it that way. Like, okay, I don't need to be in a specific zip code or city. It's like it's an area, and then you let the data lead you, right? So when you look at the map right here, right, you see like down here, there's a big pocket of activity. And this is representative of all the fix and flips that have happened in the last 12 months where they bought the property, fixed up and sold it, and they got it lower than 75% of the ARV. That number is just there to like identify fix and flips. It doesn't mean you have to buy at 75 or higher or lower. Every market's different. But that number is indicative of what a fix and flip might look like.
So right now we can see that there was a high number of fix and flips in like South Philly.
South Philly, right here. This is probably one of the hottest areas all on the East Coast. Right
We have
in
a
here.
celebrity in our chat right now, guys. Laura Morby is with us. Everybody show some love to Laura, the coolest cast member of Triple Digit Flip. I love you, Laura. Nice to see you.
Hi, Laura. So as we drill down here, you can see now the actual fix and flips that are happening. So every one of these properties is a fix and flip. And every one of these actually tells a story. And that's one of the other things I think is important about data is that sometimes data is scary. Like people are like, oh my God, like data, I don't know what to do with it, and normally it's like a chart, right? With a line going up and to the right, or it's some spreadsheet with a bunch of numbers on it. And
Yeah,
you're
data
like, what do you
sucks.
do
Data
with
sucks
that?
to look at. And if you're
What do
not
you
a
do
nerd,
with it? Right.
yeah.
But with this, I can look at this and I can be like, oh, like right in here, right below Point Breeze, there's a good amount of activity. Like that's where I need to look. Like
Okay.
we make it as simple as possible for you to make decisions on. And then over here on the left are properties that were actually renovated. So you can see, like if we open up this one right here on Watkins, right? This property on Watkins, it just sold for 299 grand.
What did they buy it for? I'm gonna guess right now in Philly, I'd say they probably had to pay 35% of that in order for it to make sense. But maybe I'm off. But let's just see. If we were at 300 times 0.35, I would have paid like 105 for it. What did they buy it for?
They bought it for 130.
So they pay a little bit more than where my offer would have been. So guys, it's like, and how long ago did they buy this?
This one they bought last year. So it was
Okay.
a ways back, but it was a mess, right? So this is the other cool thing that we help you guys understand is like what a property looked like before it was fixed up and then what happened after. And you can't see that anywhere else except for on Jamil's show, right? Because they compress it all into one thing where you can see
Right.
it when they're punching holes in the wall and writing on the walls and stuff. Like this is what you can see. And this is education, right? So you can see like, okay, well, what does it take to get a house like this to look like this? How much time does it take?
Right.
Right? What kind of materials do they use? There's all kinds of good stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned earlier, Jamil, like when you look at this data, you'll see that, okay, a certain number of these properties are selling below a certain price. Like, where's the sweet spot? What's selling right now? Because in Philly, maybe that spot is like 400,000. Like if you're at 400 or more, it's sitting. If you're at 400 or less, people are buying it. And that's information you can extract from here. And this kind of information, you guys, in the past, the only way you could learn this is by going out there and doing it. Like you
Right.
literally had to be the
The guinea pig.
operator
Yep.
doing this, and then you would slowly build up your local market intelligence. Now you can become a local market expert in a weekend and know information about a market that people who actually live there and that are doing deals there don't even know about their market.
So right now, could we say that in Philly, and when did this sell?
A couple days ago.
A couple days ago. Okay, so they paid 130 for it. 300 was the sale. That looks like they're buying it about 45%. Now, I would call this a full gut. So right now, because they purchased this in the height of the market, I would have gone down about 10% lower than the acquisition that they got in at. And I would say that there's a likelihood that I would be able to purchase this property today at closer to 100 to 105 than paying up to 130 for it.
Yep. Yeah, and the market's adjusting, right? And this is part of what, the benefit here is looking at these properties is, every one of these, again, it tells a story, right? Like this one right here, 388, right? Beautiful home. A lot of these are looking the same, right? That's what's cool about Philly is there are comps galore because they're all the same. And that's, again, one of the ingredients is that if you're in the middle of rural America, right? The closest house is, maybe 2 miles away, and it was built 30 years ago, and it has completely different property characteristics. That makes it hard to comp there,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's way easier to comp properties out in cities. So this is another one of those pieces that we mentioned earlier about what the ingredients are. Like you're going to have more success in comping and proving value in an area like this than if you're looking in Timbuktu in Nebraska. So this is another one of those strategies about going to where the ingredients are at.
What did they buy? What did they pay for this one, Benson?
They bought it for 175, sold it
Okay,
for
so
388.
388 was the sale.
45% again.
Guys,
No.
see this. We're seeing a commonality, right? So we're doing market research now. If you are looking at Philadelphia, you've got multiple data points right now that show buyers buying at 45%. Benson, can you tell me the names of those LLCs?
Yeah, this one was RMP Development.
RMP Development.
So RMP Development is the flipper on this one.
Okay, and then the next one, the one before that.
I don't remember, but we have a bunch here. I mean, there's tons of them.
Let's keep looking. Let's get five. Let's get 5 of these, and then I'm going to give these 5 to Emily, and Emily's going to go to Open Corporates, and she's going to find the phone numbers for these potential buyers.
Well, let's try something real quick here. That RMP Development is the one we just looked at, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a website.
Beautiful.
RMP Development Corp.
And it's in Philly?
It looks like. Yeah, they're in Philly. Well, that's New Jersey. Is that the right one? Let me go back one thing. RMP Development.
Let me get my nerdicals on, and we can see better.
Yeah, so I think they're there.
All right, you got a phone number? Well, we'll do that all at one go. We'll do that all in one go. But
267-236-3900.
Awesome. Okay, let's keep looking.
All right. So here's Fernan. And here's the other interesting thing I just noticed, right? Again, this is the local market. The last 3 properties were looked at. Every one of them bought those properties from the MLS.
Amazing. So now we know that we've got buyers that will buy from the MLS. So we don't have to worry that there's guys are only wanting to buy, off-market properties. These guys understand that numbers are numbers, right? And so
Mhm.
that's an incredible approach. Okay, what did they buy this one for?
They bought it for 230, sold it for 324.
Ooh,
71% of the ARV.
ooh, how much work did they do in there?
It looks like a lot. I mean, look at the house before. Here's after.
Oh, they got murdered on this house. That's before.
That's the before. Here's the after. Now, one of the things that we also track is how long it took them to do the renovation. It took them only 144 days, 47 days on market. So the total hold time from when they bought it to when they put that thing on the market and sold it was 191 days.
And how long did it sit on market for?
Well, 47 days total from when they listed it to when they closed.
So then
So that
they
includes escrow.
was there a huge price decrease? Did they list much higher?
Um, no, they started at 329 and it closed at 324.
So then they would not have listed this thing below a profit. So they probably are very efficient rehabbers, and these guys buy deeper. These guys buy way more money than other people, and they're faster and they're more efficient, and they got better costing than the other people that we've seen too. So this could be an incredibly good buyer. So let's get
This
their
is a
name and
high.
let's find out who the agent is who works with them.
Yeah, the agent is Kelly. Oh, not Kelly. It's Holly Iverson of Keller Williams.
Polly, what? You said Polly Iverson?
Holly Iverson.
Oh.
Holly Iverson. So if we just do a quick Google search for Holly, here's her smiling face.
And what was the LLC? Sorry, before you do that, what was the LLC that had that property?
The LLC is, well, it's not an LLC, it's an individual.
Okay.
Mariano
John,
Herrerias.
what is it?
Mariano Herrerias.
I need you to spell that for me. What's Herrerias spelled?
Herrerias.
Emily, are you writing this down so we can try to get that information?
Well, that's a quick True People search, right?
Okay, let's see if we can get that.
Oh. If you guys aren't familiar with True People Search, it's a free skip tracing service. You can go and you can bulk skip trace stuff, but you're just going to build a list of a bunch of people that you're never going to talk to. So I like using this tool. Philadelphia, PA. Mariano Herrerias, 55, Philadelphia.
Sounds right. What's the number?
Cell phone number is 215-313-2961.
Okay, and then let's look up Holly Iverson.
So here's Holly. Just did a quick Google search. Her cell phone number pops up right in the search results here. 347-966-3073.
Sorry, one more time. 347.
966-3073. So you guys, you can see here we're doing some quick research to identify the agent. Well, why this agent? Well, she worked with an investor. She was the agent that represented Mariano on this flip. So we know that she's in this space, that she understands how to work with investors.
Absolutely. Let's keep going.
All right. So there's that. Let's see. Warnock.
Claudia asked, what do you do when it's an individual? Claudia, we just treat it like we would anything else. They're just somebody who does business in their own personal name. So like you saw, we went to True People Search, and that's how we got their info. Now, of course, there's other skip tracing too. So if this isn't the right number, you can use things like Batch, or you can go to other skip tracing softwares. But, True People Search is free. So we're going to give it a try.
So Washington Avenue Investment Inc. Let's do Philadelphia. Some people go right to True People Search. I'm sorry, Open Corporates. I actually like to Google it first, because every now and again you'll find it on another database besides Open Corporates that has better info. But you just never know.
Right.
So business info, Stephen J. Washington. Okay.
Do we got
Let's
any
look
info
at
for them?
True People. So there's not a phone number right there. But if we look at Stephen J. Washington in Philly, Delaware, Philly, age 43. All right. So Stephen J. Washington is the proprietor of Washington Investments. And it says it's a landline. This is the only number we have, but I'll give
Okay.
it to you.
Okay.
215-387-2707.
Cool. Let's do a couple more.
All right. So one thing I'm going to do here is I want to open these up in some other tabs so we don't lose track of these properties. So we've got this cool sharing feature, you guys, so you can share these with other people in your community here. You can send them to your agent or your hard money lender. And you basically can share this whole comparative market analysis, which automatically pulls comps. It'll show you rental data for the property in case you have buyers that are doing, they're building a rental portfolio, or if they're doing BRRRR, you need to know rents, right? You don't just need to know comps, like sales comps. You need to know rental comps too.
Mm-hmm.
Not every market has as much rental data, but there's a lot of rentals in Philly, as you can see. All the black dots are rental comps.
Okay.
Crazy, right? And then let's see here. Let's look at another one here. 735 Watkins. This one was purchased 50%. Another MLS deal.
MLS deal. Okay, great. 735 Watkins.
So this was sold by Crib Fixers. Crib
They sound
Fixers.
cool. The crib fixers.
Yeah, they're hip.
You want your crib fixed? We'll fix your crib.
Okay, Philadelphia, PA. Owner name Crib Fixers. That's a property. Mailing address. Westchester, PA. That. Got a better location than just Westchester. Here they are. I'm going a little fast, you guys. We're just kind of
It's
just
all
cranking
good.
through here.
Yeah, we're trying to crank through here, guys, so we can get to making some calls. But you guys can see what this is, right? I'm the couple of questions that I'm seeing come up here in the chat, just so we can help people out. The sites that we're using, guys, are Open Corporates to look up the LLC information, and then we are using True People Search to look up and skip trace phone numbers for the members or the managers of those entities.
So this is a foreign registration. So the Crib Fixers is not based out of Philly. That is probably their mailing address or whatever. But it looks like they're based out in they're a Nevada corporation.
Okay.
So they're probably taking some steps to not be found. But let's look at this guy right here.
And do they normally do that in Nevada so that they can stay anonymous?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things that Prime Corporates does too.
Yep. And they
they'll
also
a lot of
do
Nevada corporations.
I believe it's Delaware LLCs in order to keep you anonymous.
Yeah, so this is going to be, I don't know if we'll find this one. This is going to be a tough one, I think, because whenever they're using Nevada corporations, like it makes it especially hard.
And there was no website for these guys?
Nothing popped up right away.
The crib fixers. You got a cool name like that, and you don't have a website?
I know. I know. You'd think they would.
Okay. Was there an agent that we can talk to for that one?
That's a great idea. So, crib fixers. The agent on this one is Matthew D'Antonio.
I thought you were going to say Matthew Criblicious. Okay, Matthew what?
D'Antonio. I think there was a NBA coach that was D'Antonio, wasn't there?
I can't remember. And what's D'Antonio's phone number?
D'Antonio. He's a Better Homes and Garden agent.
Okay.
That's probably an office line. Let me see if I can find a cell phone someplace. Oh, it's just a general PA real estate agent.
Here we go.
Here we go. 610-213-4955.
Cool.
So we got a couple agents, a few buyers.
Awesome. So see guys, what we're creating here is we're doing some market research, right? I wanted to find some power players in the market. We're just doing some testing. We want to see, does this market work, or would this market work for me as a virtual market? Again, why are we doing this? Because you guys understand that if you don't have privy in your market right now, or if you're living in a rural area, or you're living in a place where there's not a lot of investor activity going on, you should be looking to pivot where there's action, where there's activity, where people are actually flipping right now. And we can see that by using the software and the tools that Privy provides us. So we're going and doing some market research, and then we're finding those power players. And then we took the names of those power players. We searched open corporates, and we found out who owns those LLCs. And then we went to True People Search, and we got their phone numbers. Then, if we couldn't find the information for the owner of the LLC, we went and found who the real estate agent was, who represented them was, because we're not going to give up like that. We got to go and make sure that we talk to everybody that has some association with this, right? But guys, do you see how simple this is? In a matter of 30 minutes, we've got 5 power players that I've got information on right now, that if we find an opportunity, I can get a deal sold. This is how simple this is. When, you guys are asking, hey, show it to me step by step, minute by minute. How do I do this? Guys, we showed you. This is how you collect a list. Now, of course, you have to make this list 10 times bigger than what you saw me do right now. This isn't going to happen in 5 phone calls. But what about 50? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do 10 times what I showed you right now. Do it 10 times. Make a list of 50 people. Call 50 agents. Call 50 buyers. That's how you do this. All right. Benson, let's look at some of the data that you guys have within Privy, because you were mentioned that, maybe we can find some absentee owners, or we could find some good potential off-market opportunities. Let's explore that.
Right. So right now, when we're talking about buyers, we're talking about fix and flip buyers. And they're the kind of the core of buyers when we think about them in general, but their criteria is changing quickly, right? Because of the uncertainty in the market. And so a lot of them, like you mentioned earlier, they're shifting their buying criteria because they're still thinking about the exit. They're really concerned, if I buy this thing, can I sell it in 4 months after a renovation? Is the market going to keep going down? So they're being extremely conservative with their buying price, what they're buying. Some of them maybe even just kind of slow down, or even they're on the sidelines right now, just kind of paying attention because they're uncertain, right? And that creates some fear.
Mm-hmm.
But who's buying a lot? Landlords, right? Now, landlords probably are shifting their buy box too, but not nearly as much, because one of their biggest criteria for buying a property is cash flow. Sure, they want to get it at a discount, but they just want to know that they can keep renting that thing out. And here's one of the things. We know that there's less people out there that have the ability to buy because interest rates went up, right? 3-4%.
A lot of these landlords right now are paying cash because they are skirting this whole situation with rates, but they're stealing these houses at like phenomenally low prices, right? So that's where I'm seeing a lot of landlords take advantage of the current market is they're just buying super deep.
They are. And they don't have to think about an exit. They're not worried about the uncertainty of the market right now because they don't plan on selling for a decade, right? Likely. So they'll buy at a higher percentage of ARV. Even in an uncertain market, they'll buy more at a higher percentage of ARV because they're not thinking about selling it on the back end. So this area that we're in, you guys, is where we would want to put our list. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't like to do on-market deals, it's not for me. Well, number one, you should change that perspective because
we've debunked that myth.
We have
over and over again. In fact, right now, especially in today's market climate, on-market deals are going to give you way better opportunities than off-market because the on-market people, they are motivated. They're actually listed to sell. You go directly to sellers right now who maybe don't have an understanding of how much the market has shifted. They're out of touch. They're not going to understand the numbers. They're not going to understand how aggressive they're going to have to be in pricing in order to sell the house. There's no motivation there. So why wouldn't you target somebody that has intrinsic motivation because they listed the house?
Yep, they already raised their hand. So you're taking out one of the biggest problems with people doing deals in this business is actually getting a hold of somebody so you can have a conversation about buying their house. That's the first problem. And then you got to convince them to sell you that property at a price where you can make money and it's a win-win, which is just another problem. You get rid of all of that just by targeting on market as one of your sources.
Right.
So we're talking about data here. We have a data team looking at different markets, and we're doing this for the whole US, but I want to show you a sample of 3 markets that we've already analyzed. So we looked at the Dallas market. The blue line is all the properties that were purchased as investment properties. These are fix and flips, properties that were purchased for rentals. Look at how many more were bought from the MLS than off. This is the blue is on market, the red is off market.
Wow.
Here's another chart. Same data, just a different view. On market blue versus off market red.
Yeah, tremendously more.
Look at Colorado. On market versus off market. Like it's more than double and triple in some areas. Look at that view. So if you guys are ignoring on-market properties as a significant source of your deal flow, you're ignoring the majority of the properties that are out there. And we wonder why we're not getting a lot of deals done. We're not getting a lot of properties. This is one of the reasons. This is Chicago.
Yep.
So this one had the closest interaction with off-market right here between January and March. They had actually off-market exceeded on-market. But then on market again boosted up and down, it dropped off again.
Right.
So again, the data you guys can tell you a lot about what you need to know about where you should be spending your time. This is where you should be looking for deals. Thinking about off market, right, or buyers. You want to be where the ingredients are to put a deal together. You need the buyers, right? Every one of these people is
you need a
potential
buyer. You need a motivated seller,
and you need comps. Right?
And you need evidence.
The evidence is all right here. If you're in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, you're not going to have any of these data points. Jamil told you that story earlier, you guys, of people saying they couldn't find comps. Well, they were doing it backwards. Instead of finding an area where they have comps and then looking for deals there, they're chasing leads and then hoping that the comps exist.
Right.
Well, just be more effective. Don't look for a property in an area where you know comps don't exist. You're just wasting your time. You look right here and you're going to solve a lot of the problems that are going to catch you up down the road by just simply thinking several steps down the road. We call this the reverse REI strategy. You're just beginning with the end in mind and then working backward.
100%. There's a few questions here I just want to address in the chat here before we keep moving here, Benson. People saying, hey, so if this is doing some of the same things as PropStream, why would I need both? Guys, it's not about the amount of overlap. There's a slight amount of overlap, but there is a tremendous amount of differences between the two. And I have look, I've nothing against PropStream. I think that the people who bought it are nice and the people who sold it are nice and everything about them is nice. But I've never, ever been able to really wrap my head around how this can be a great utility for wholesalers. The data is just not current enough. The comps are not, they're not current. It's just not a robust tool. When I look at what I can get from Privy can identify anything that has been listed recently that is a deal. Privy will also identify anything that's 30, 60, 90 days on market that is a deal. Neither PropStream or any other software does that. That algorithm in itself is proprietary to Privy. Privy is the only, they have a patent on it. They're the only ones who can do it.
Yep. Yeah, and I agree with you. They do some nice things, but what they're primarily used for, you guys, is if you are only going to do off-market list stacking and marketing, that's what you would use them for. We don't do marketing. If you want to be an off-market marketer and you want to be a salesperson and you want to be on the phone all day calling motivated sellers, then PropStream is for you. Now, you're going to want to comp those properties out with Privy for sure, because you're going to make sure you write the right offer to those people based off of real-time data. But that's where you're going to find the benefit there. I've heard they got a good driving for dollars app too. Like we're not doing that.
Yeah, again, I have nothing against these methodologies, driving for dollars and pulling lists, but here's the thing, guys. And I say this with as much respect as possible. But when you are spending time and energy and money pulling lists and then skip tracing those lists, you can pull a list of 5,000 people and spend a tremendous amount of money skip tracing that list. And you can get told to beat it and F off and contort yourself in every different pretzelic way that a homeowner may tell you to do because they aren't happy that you called them. You are climbing an uphill mountain. Okay, you are climbing an uphill mountain. And is there anything? Can you get deals off market? Hell yeah, you can. Can you make money off market? Yes, you can. But I'll tell you what, that I have never seen a company scale a wholesale business doing only off market deals ever. I have never seen one do the amount of volume that my company Keegley does ever by only doing off market opportunities. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. If they are not working with real estate agents, if they are not working with on-market deals and working with some off-market deals, but if they aren't doing a blend of all of that, they cannot get to scale. You will always be hustling for your next check. Now, I don't care if your checks are $30,000. There's still stress when you get 30K and then that 30K disappears and you need another 30K because you don't have a job. And that's what happens to a lot of wholesalers is they make a little bit of money. They leave their W-2. They go through this process of chasing down and hunting down off-market opportunities, and they get smothered. They get creamed because cash flow will kill them. And then their dreams die and they go back to work. They do one or two deals and their dreams die and they go back to work. This is what happens. This is what happens to people when they go direct.
Yeah.
Look, Denise is part of Keegley. She is closing her 17th deal today, and she's never spoken to a distressed seller before. Everything we do is through relationships. It's through this process. Benson, you created the most incredible tool to help investors do this business at scale. We're grateful for you.
The other thing I want to mention too is the amount of education you can get when people say, well, is this good for beginners? It's the best for beginners because this is how you learn real estate. You can't look at a spreadsheet and understand the real estate market. Jamil, you're an amazing coach. You're one of the best, right? Ever, in my opinion.
Well, thank
However,
you. In wholesale, I'd say I'm the best, but I share that with Pace because when it comes to creative and all the beautiful things that he does, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, guys. It's just I haven't seen anybody get what we've been able to accomplish done.
Well, I point that out because I've talked to lots of mentors and coaches, and one of the things that I know that you do well is you connect with people and you really bring them in, and they're part of a community, right? But what you're not able to do effectively is tell people what a deal is in their market, or Philadelphia or Tampa or these other areas, because it changes so quickly. And I think that people ignore the real estate education too often, and it eventually is what trips them up,
I agree.
because they can be great on the phone with scripts, and they got the right lists, and they all these things, and they look at a property and they're like, they don't know if it's a deal or not because
Right.
they haven't done the local market education. And this is what teaches you what a deal is. So now that we've looked at all these properties, guess what we know, you guys? Right around 45% of the ARV is where a buyer wants to buy a property at. We know three of the major players on the buy side. We know two of the real estate agents. Like, how quickly, in just an hour now, were we able to get to a place where we know this market probably better than you know where you live in that market,
It's great.
because of
People
the
want to hear
data.
us make some calls, so I'm gonna hop on the phone and start talking to a couple of these buyers and some of these agents and just get a feel for how things are going over there. Now, guys, of course, I don't have any deals under contract right now in Philly, but does that matter? No. You want to know why? Because I have a franchise out there. I've got a Keegley franchise out there who is out there sourcing deals right now. And I could just plug right into their inventory and I could hand deliver some good deal to any of the people that I'm about to talk to right now. So I'm going to act as if I'm going, and all of you can work with Keegley franchises as well. You can help us move our deals if you'd like to do. If you want to pick low hanging fruit, you can do exactly what I just did right now. Go find 50 buyers, plug into Keegley, go get one of their deals, and walk a deal over and make 5-10 grand. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yep.
If you're broke right now, why wouldn't you do that? Let's do it. Calling RMP Development.
Cool. And I see two here, so call that one first. But this one actually might be the right one.
Okay.
Here's that number. Oh, 267-236-3900.
We have a
They got
name for
this
these
really
guys?
nice website. Here's the property.
You've reached Gianna Giannetti at the Giannetti Group, Keller Williams, Philly.
I'm gonna try her again. The double dial is a hack.
So Giannetti Group, RMP Development. They're tied together.
You've reached Gianna Giannetti at the Giannetti Group, Keller Williams, Philly. Please leave your name, number, and I will return your call at my earliest convenience. Thanks for calling and have a great day. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Gianna. This is Jamil calling. I am looking at a property that you are involved in. You guys did a phenomenal flip here in Philadelphia on 19th Street. Congratulations on the sale. Listen, I've got access to a couple of really, 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 really deeply discounted deals in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania market. I'd love to show them to you guys before I send them out to some others. I personally love the work that you're doing, and I want to see you guys transform these deals. There's a lot of meat on the bone. Would love to hear from you. If you can give me a call back, my telephone number is.
All right. So she looks like she'd be a high value target, right? So this is one of
Yep.
those people, you guys, you would continue to call. We told that story, we were talking about it earlier, how I chased you for like a year, right?
Yeah.
And I eventually was able to get your ear, and then you researched me behind my back, and then you
Oh,
finally came
I
around.
just didn't start working with you, Benson. Benson reached out, guys, and I literally made him chase me around for 2 years, and I like vetted him like how people would have an arranged marriage. You know what I mean? Like I talked to everybody about him first, and then we went and researched the product, and then we were like, holy crap, this is amazing.
Right. And the reason why I bring that up is because I feel like she's one of those types of people that you would chase. Right.
I mean, you would, because you're single.
Right. But also she is looks like a high power agent in Philly.
Yes.
Who has a development company.
I agree.
She is an agent, right? So she's working it from all angles. Like she's the agent that actually listed and sold this one, right? Actually, I opened up a different one here. Right here she is. Gianna Giannetti, like she's all tied into these properties. She's not just an agent. She's actually, developing these things. She's got RMP development. Who knows what she's got her hands in? Like this is somebody I would want to talk to.
Agreed. All right. I'm going to keep calling. Let's call Mariano.
All right. Was Mariano on Fernan?
Yep, he was on Fernan.
Jamil, let's say call me back at this number next time.
Okay.
All right. Yep. So it's Fernan. There's the property.
Hi, this is Mariano. Left your message. I will call you as soon as I can.
Hello?
Hey, Mariano, how are you?
Hi, who's this?
My name is Jamil. I just saw that you guys flipped a property on Fernan Street in Philadelphia. Is that the same Mariano?
Yes. I already sold that property.
I know you did. You did a great job in that house, Mariano. I've got a deal right now in Philly that's a really, really good price. I saw that you guys do a phenomenal job on your rehabs. Are you still buying right now?
Yes, actually, I'm looking for a property right now.
You're looking for one right now. Okay, I am going to send you a message in the next 30 minutes. I've got a few houses that I'd like to show you. Are you available to chat and we can go through the numbers, and if there's a deal there, we can get it done?
Actually, I'm first I need to see in person.
Or you want to meet in person? No problem. I'm personally not in Philly right now, but my team is out there, so I can have one of my partners meet you in person. No problem.
Yeah, I need to see the properties, the pros and cons and the market, how much will cost, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm not in the States right now. I'm actually in Mexico.
Oh, you're in Mexico. Okay.
I'm flying tomorrow.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do.
Tomorrow after 5, either way, send me the info.
Yes.
For the houses, prices, and the info. I can see, and after that, I decide if I talk to you or not.
Perfect. That's no problem. The numbers are really good. The numbers are really good. So I'm sure we'll be talking tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. I'll follow up. Take care, brother.
Okay.
Bye-bye. He's looking for a deal right now. Guys, if you've ever heard me talk about this before, where I say, go and find somebody who's just listed a property on the market that has just flipped a house, they will be ready to buy their next one. Did you not just hear this in real time? I can't stage this stuff. I can't stage this.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to talk to you.
This guy wants to buy a house right now. Right freaking now.
Mm-hmm. And he's the one that worked with Holly.
Stuff's hard.
Right. Yeah. You found the buyer. You've got the inventory, and we're going to find some stuff here in a minute, right? We're going to find a couple deals that we could potentially sell him. But you've got some inventory already from your Keeley franchise. Holly Iverson. Right. So Holly was that agent I gave you the information for.
Let's call her.
Let's touch base with her. You might even just drop it and say, hey, I just talked to Mariano. Right. That'll perk her ear up.
See, here's the piece though, because if I get Holly involved right now, because she represented Mariano, I'm gonna step on an ethical toe. I'm not gonna call Holly yet. Or maybe I will call Holly, but I'm not going to tell her that I know Mariano, because I don't want to work through Holly with Mariano.
Totally.
I want to
I
work
agree.
with Mariano on his own, but I want to work with Holly on her own. So I'm going to call Holly, but I'm not going to mention Mariano. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Let's call her.
Hi, press 1 to be connected to this Premier agent.
Uh-oh. That's the Zillow number.
Mm.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm going to call it anyways because it's going to cost. Guys, you want to hear a hack? This is going to suck. Okay. But if I go through Zillow and call her through Zillow, it costs her like $100.
Mm.
Should I do it?
There's another number here.
Am I worth $100 to know? Okay, let's go to her free number first.
All right, let me go back here. That was throwing us in a database. Where to go? Where to go? Holly Iverson, 347-481-7192.
7192.
Hi, this is Holly. Just leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Let's try again. It's like I went right to voicemail. So maybe she's
at a closing.
Hi, this is Holly. Just leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.
I'll try one more time. But this time I'm gonna *67 because I'm calling from a Beverly Hills phone number. So she maybe she's just like, I don't want to talk to this guy. He's gonna sell me health insurance.
Yep.
Please enter the number 52 on your dial pad to connect to a Premier agent.
Oh, it was that same. What was the number that you gave me there, bro?
347-481-7192.
7192.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Holly. Just leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any message.
Wow. Benson, when people are signing up for Privy, I got this question a number of times. They keep it asks them to select an agent. What does that mean?
They actually don't need to. There is a it sounds like that's a link that we can give them another link. But you guys you have to use the promo code. All right. So if you're going to sign up, make sure you use this promo code. But we actually created a bypass for that.
So what can they select if they're already there?
Okay, if you're already there, just do this, you guys. Just go to choose a Privy agent, and then you don't have to choose one. You can get past that. We basically are bypassing that and allowing you to find your own agent within Privy if you want to, but you don't have to. But you can just go to the point where it says choose an agent, choose investor if you're an investor. If it says choose a Privy agent, just choose Privy agent, and then you can register without any problem.
Okay, choose a Privy agent. Just select choose a Privy agent.
Yep, and then you can get past it.
Okay, that's how you get past it.
Yep.
Yes, there's a 20% discount for the full year, guys. Get it. Not only that, but Benson, what else do you do with them for when they sign up for the annual?
So if you sign up for the annual, it takes the price to $930, and then we give you a bunch of bonuses you're not going to get anywhere else for that price, you guys. So I'm going to give you my real estate investing virtual REI course, where I teach you exactly the process that I did to start investing and finding virtual wholesale deals in St. Louis from Colorado. I documented it, turned it into modules. It's a whole course. I normally charge $1,500 for that. You get it for free with this annual plan with Jamil. You also get our live coaching calls. So these are only for our coaching bundled users, where we drill down once per week. where we get really into the weeds with, what your contracts look like, how to talk with agents, everything across the board. That's free as well for 52 weeks. And then we got some other cool like lists, a private money lender list, hedge fund list, cash buyers list, all for that $930 price. So it's the best value all around, and it helps you commit, right? Because if you don't have skin in the game and you're just like, putting your little toe in the water and you're feeling it that way, how much success are you going to have with that? But if you're like, okay, I'm in, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing the training, I'm doing the education, let's go. That's the one you want.
Totally agree. Yeah, guys, I will make some calls. When we're done this, we'll have Benson look up some overpriced houses in Philly because my guy Mariano wants a deal, so we're gonna get him one. But first, I'm gonna just call these last two buyer contacts. I've got Steve in Washington, and then I've got Matthew D'Antonio, who's an agent. And we're just gonna get a few more buyer contacts here for you guys to see what that looks like.
So which one are you calling right now?
Stephen J. Washington. The number that you got for him, did you write it down by chance?
Ooh, I did not. Was that
Okay, I think it could be 2707 or 2907. I think it's 2707. Okay.
Yeah, here's the Washington one. Warnock.
Benson, I've got a few people asking, if they didn't you sign up for Privy during a promo, they can't retroactively get a discount, can they?
It would be a logistical nightmare to be able to do it. Yeah, it would just be a total nightmare.
Sorry guys, that's why we have these lives, and we try to get you guys, opportunities to do it. That's why when you take action, when we do the live, that's the time to do it. Hello, is this Matthew?
Yes, it is.
Matthew, my name is Jamil. I just saw that you've got a couple of listings on some flip properties in Philly, and I've got a few houses right now that are in distress that need full remodels, and I'm wondering if I can connect the dots with you to some buyers for them.
For some buyers, or do you want me to list them?
No, I'm not trying to put them on the MLS. I'm looking to sell them to guys who fix and flip.
What are the addresses?
I can email them to you if you'd like.
Are you wholesaling or are you assigning?
I am wholesaling them.
Okay, so you currently own them.
I will own them before they get sold. Yeah, it'll be a double close.
I got you. So you're going to assign. You have an assignment clause in the contract.
I won't be assigning them because specifically in Philadelphia, I have to take them down before I sell them. But I will own them momentarily before I transfer ownership to your buyer.
I got you. And then are you paying a commission to the buyer's agent if I bring a buyer?
We can work that out. So I've got a lot of meat on the bones on these, so you can literally decide what you want to make on them. If you want to, add $10,000 or $20,000, there's a lot of room on these deals that I think you can do that.
Okay, I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. There's only a couple neighborhoods that we're interested in Philadelphia right now because we're trying to move everything out of Philly because the market is completely changing there. So
okay.
Everything is, the market is, each week the inventory is opening up and we're seeing the market drop $5,000 to $10,000 on renovated houses each week.
I'm seeing the same thing. Yeah, but I've adjusted for that in the prices that I picked these things up for. So I've already made that. I've baked in a 10% adjustment for your potential buyer.
Okay, so Pennsport, New Bold, Point Breeze, Mount Airy, Dickinson Narrows, Passyunk Square, East Passyunk, West Oak Lane. That's it. Do you have anything there?
I've got to look at the addresses and double check, but I'm gonna
Just
what
send me an email.
yeah, what's your email, brother? And we'll connect there.
Yeah, Matt, M-A-T-T, at Matt D'Antonio, DANTONIO.com.
Love it. Expect an email from me today, brother.
Okay, great.
Talk soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Amazing, right? This guy is one of those high-profile agents. You could see he was no nonsense. He was just wanted to get it all out there. He wanted to make sure that I understood what I was talking about. So he was wanting to see, are you assigning these? Do you have an assignment clause? But I understand the laws in Philly and you need a wholesaler license in order to do multiple assignments. So what I would do is I would double close those deals. I would go to a title company that will allow me to use BC funds to close my AB transaction. And that way, when I explain to him that I'll own the property momentarily before it goes to his buyer, boom, he understands I know what the hell I'm talking about. Right?
Oh yeah.
Given
Yes,
that
was slick.
Given that, he opened up. He told me exactly where his buyers are buying. And then he started talking about the market changing. And not only, he said the market's moving down 5 or 10,000 per deal. And I said, I'm baking in 5 to 10%. So I've already got my properties lower than what he might be expecting right now. So again, knock down all of the objections that he had. And this guy is fast. Like if I wasn't going to check the boxes in his mind, there was no way he was going to give me the time of day.
Yep.
You guys catch that? Again, this is the reason why we do these calls, so that you guys can hear this. You guys can understand the cadence. You can understand the confidence. You understand the terminology. You understand the rules of the game, so that when you are doing this, you don't sound like a total buffoon.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's keep rocking.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Thank you, bro.
So,
I've done this for a bit. Let's
who
get
was the
some
last
deals.
person?
Pardon me?
There was one more buyer, right, on Washington?
Oh yeah, who was that? Oh yes, but that number wouldn't ring. The one at 2707, it wouldn't ring. It was like
Didn't
looping in, and so that number doesn't seem right. Do you have another number?
We can look for. I don't remember the thing we went down. I think it was 2. It was the crib fixers guy, and then we found it another way.
Yeah, it was. I just have Stephen J. Washington was the name.
Yeah, darn it. Okay, well, let's look for a couple deals here.
Let's go. Let's find some deals. Let's talk to some agents about their overpriced listings, because people want to hear how I'm gonna talk to people about that.
So here's the area we're looking, right, you guys, because this is where the ingredients are. Remember, we got the buyers, we got the agents, we got the data to prove that the deals make sense. Then up the top right here, you can click find similar active deals, and it's going to reverse engineer that, and it's going to search for properties that we can buy today. Now, in that filter, and you can create that same filter from scratch, but I'm going to lower this a bit, right? So I'm going to lower this. What do you think you want to put it at, Jamil? 50?
I want to go, 50.
Let's set it at 50%. So right here, you guys, what we're doing is we're going to use a filter to basically get rid of all the properties that don't have any data that supports a 50% ARV or lower. So if there's data there that says 60% or 70%, then we're going to find deals. And by the way, we were talking earlier about what Privy does that others don't. None of those other platforms have the ability to search for deals based off of a percentage of ARV. This is one of the things that is proprietary to us that we do, that will absolutely find you deals every day that you can write offers on. So let's go ahead and do a quick search here. And I'm looking for properties that are at 50% of the ARV or lower. And then this is going to reset here.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I do this stuff, I just get so excited. I'm like, it's not the money, bro. Money doesn't excite me anymore. That's not for everybody. Some of you guys are gonna be like, wow, this guy's out of touch. Money excites me. Listen, it's still exciting, okay? But what I'm saying is I just get so energized having these phone calls. I mean, just doing this makes my blood move, like it's freaking amazing.
So here's a property. It just came on the market a few days ago.
Okay.
It's for sale for 195 grand.
Let's comp it.
And the closest, well, actually, let me look at distance again. We got comparables right here, sold for 430, 435, 420.
Yeah, baby.
So
yeah, I
you
love
guys see
it.
how the percentages here are all lower than 50%.
Okay.
So it's doing the math for us, right? These are right down the street.
Here, let's show them exactly how you're comping. They're seeing the chart there, Benson, but blow it up because people need to some. Can you declutter that map? Take out the rents.
I can't take out the rents.
Okay.
But what I could do is I could just draw like a smaller zone.
Okay, let's
I'm making this
draw a
bigger for
smaller
everybody
zone.
so they can see it. 1 second here. My browser didn't like that I just did that. 1 moment.
And we'll explain that chart as well. Guys, I'm not familiar with these other BP Pro or Invelo. I don't know them, so I don't know if they're good or not, but I'll check them out. Happy to look at stuff.
All right.
You familiar with them, Benson? Invelo?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
There are softwares they're asking about?
I guess so, yeah.
As soon as I zoomed in, my browser decided it wanted to do a little freezy freeze. So let me see if I can just draw a little bit smaller zone here so we can lessen the amount of information that's on the map.
Love that. And you guys know how I love a nice little tight pocket.
Yep.
Boom.
So it's a tighter pocket here. And here's some of the comparables, right? So this one sold for 430,000. This one sold for 435. That's putting us in this 45% range.
Dope. And when did
Right.
that 430 sell?
It sold in May.
Ugh.
This one sold
Okay.
in July.
Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to take off 10% for that, okay? So the 430, you're going to take off 10%. I'm going to take off 43K from 430. That's going to take us to about 390. And what are they listed at right now? We got an active at 399?
There's an active at 399. This one
I'm right on the money.
Yeah.
Right on the money. 10% off, right? We took 10% off of where the market was in May, June, July. The discount code is COMPIN, COMPIN. And the black guys, the ones in black are rental comps. We just have rental comps for buy and hold investors. Okay, let's I like this. Let's call this agent. So here's the thing. Let's also look at how many days on market has this one been?
4 days.
4 days on market. So I'm going to do some exploration. I'm going to ask the agent to kind of fill me in on what's been going on with it. I'm going to tell her I rehab houses in and around the area. Give me some information about what's going on. You know, the market's a little bit strange. You guys will hear. Got to keep my crews busy, but we're just getting hammered and beaten up.
Let's find a cell phone for you here.
You got a cell phone?
Mobile. So this
Okay,
is
I'm ready.
Ramonita. 215-833-0300.
Pull up that house.
Hello.
Hi, Ramonita. How are you? My name is Jamil. I'm calling about the listing that you have on Dickinson Street.
Okay.
Do you got a couple of minutes to chat about it?
Sure.
Wonderful, wonderful. Fill me in on what's going on with this. I fix and flip houses in the area. Of course, I've been getting hammered right now with the market, but took a look at this one, and it kind of piqued my interest. Do you have anything to share with me about it right now?
Sure. So the people have been in it for like 25 years.
Okay.
They are 90 some odd years old. It does have a slightly open floor plan, and but everything has to be updated.
Okay.
High ceiling,
The bones are really good because it's brick.
Okay.
And it has a new hot water heater. The roof has been up, constantly repaired, and there's no leak.
Okay.
The electrical system has been changed. So, like I said, good bones house.
Good bones,
It
but
doesn't
probably a
need-
full gut, right? Like it's going to need all the all the cosmetics done.
Well, you and I talk about gut differently. A gut to me is down to the stuff.
Understood. Understood.
So,
Yeah.
I'm talking about a kitchen.
Okay.
I'm talking about, sanding the floor. There's all over the floors there, and putting new bathrooms. If that's a gut, hey, knock yourself out.
Understood. Understood. Let me ask you this: Are they looking at any offers right now? Do you know if they're motivated to make a quick deal
I am swamped with appointments.
on this to show this house? You mean?
Of course.
Okay, got it. Got it.
I'm not going to be talking about. So Friday I have 5 appointments, and Thursday I have 2.
Understood. Okay. I'm gonna.
Read the instructions. I'm showing the house on Friday.
Got it.
First shot.
Got it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dive into this one. I'm gonna run my numbers. I'm gonna see where the my maximum number can be on this, and I'm a fast buyer. So if I can make sense of this and your sellers agree, I can close this thing as quickly or as I can draw it out if they need time to move. I understand that they're elderly and they may need some time. So I'm happy to be as flexible as possible.
Okay. Well, I will not take verbal offers. It must be in an agreement of sale with your buyer's financial and proof of income.
No problem. I proof of income or a proof of funds?
Proof of funds.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I can absolutely send you a proof of funds, no problem. And I can again close in 7 to 10 days or longer if it's necessary. So you just tell me what is.
We're not going to close in 7 to 10 days. You're going to have 30 to 45 days.
Understood. Okay, good enough. I will take a look at the numbers and I'll reach out.
Okay.
Have a good day. Talk soon.
You too.
Bye-bye. It's cold out there right now. So
so she was to the point and very direct.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what happens.
The funny thing was though, yeah, I did catch her on proof of income. It's proof of funds. Get your terms right, lady. But
Yeah.
it is what it is, right? She's probably dealing with a lot of phone calls and people inquiring about the property and all as well. I take no offense to people. I don't take any offense to their their facade or the veneer that they put up, because she's got a job to do. Her job is to represent her clients and get them the best possible offer that can happen. My job is to get the best deal as I can possibly get. And there's always going to be a way that her and I can work together to do that. So Benson, let's take a look at what this needs to look at in terms of numbers. So we've got an ARV of about $399. It's listed at $195. It's been on the market a week. My guess is we probably need to be about 45%. Would you agree, considering what we've seen?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where these ones are at, right? So this one was, it puts it at 45% at 430. If we think it's 399 and that's the ARV, then we would let's just use a round number here.
I need to be at 180 on this. Yep.
Right.
Not bad. I'm only 20K off of the list price. And so when I call her back and I explain to her that I'd like to use her as my agent,
Mhm.
and she can represent me, that throws an extra 3% into the conversation. So before we end today's call, we're going to call her back and see if we can make it work.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's find some more.
And who knows if she really has a bunch of showings on Friday,
You have
right?
oh, she has nothing, bro.
She's just like, oh, I got so many showings.
She got nothing.
She's
What's
gotta create
what's
that
her phone number?
scarcity. Let me find it real quick. It is 215-833-0300.
Okay, we'll
She's
call
got
her
a
back.
long MF email. Can you just imagine explaining that to somebody every time you have to give someone an email address?
No.
That's just do RHM at Long and Foster. Like,
Guys, we are not using PropStream. We are using Privy. It is the most phenomenal real estate tool out there. If you are joining us late, welcome. This
Welcome,
software
everyone.
allows us to identify not only incredible opportunities, it allows us to find buyers. It allows us to get, it has an algorithm that shows us what properties are undervalued in a market. It's a no nonsense type of product, bro, and we appreciate it, guys. Make sure you rewatch this live if you are joining us late, so that you can understand just how incredible what we're doing in here actually is. Let's see if there's another deal out there.
Yeah, here's one that's interesting. So this one, you know, it was flagged as a potential deal lower than 50%. You know, some of the closest comps, you know, putting it, you know, between 41 and 50% of the ARV. This one on Reed Street closed. That was in May. This one was in middle of September. It sold for 350. Here's the reno on that one. So that one is the closest property
Nice.
that sold most recently.
And that
Correct.
sold at 350. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So is this a 3-1?
That was a 2-2. Ours is a 3-1.
Okay.
So does that balance out? Actually, we probably have a little
yeah,
bit of
it actually
a bump in
does.
ours because we've got
It exactly balances out. The bedroom and the bathroom are a wash. So we can say that works. When did that 350 sale happen, brother?
September 16th.
So recent. Great. So of course, you know, anything that's within the last 90 days, guys, has already been adjusted for the market depreciating. And so I'm going to use this comp at face value. Of course, if I got another sale in October, I would prefer to use an October sale versus a September sale, but September is recent enough for me. So 350, and I want to be at about 50% of that, or 45% of that. That gets me to about 160. Now, this is listed at 175. How many days on market has this been?
4.
This one is also 4 days on market?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can we see any photos?
It just has the front.
Okay, so probably pretty rough.
Well, here's what it says: drive-by only, right?
Okay.
Properties occupied by non-paying tenant. Buyer is responsible for having the tenant removed.
Damn.
Talk about distressed.
Super distressed. So this is going to be a fun call. I think we can get this thing super cheap. Let's talk. Al mentioned, Jamil doesn't mention or address repairs. I've messaged you in my DMs before, Al. I don't know why we keep having the same conversation, but happy to talk about it. I do address repairs, and I address it in the form of, is the property cosmetic or full gut? If it's a cosmetic, then it'll be about 20% higher. My offer is 20% higher than it would be if it's a full gut. Okay, so again, in a market like this, where this property is in 1925 build, it would be about 45% of ARV that addresses repairs. Now, if it was a cosmetic remodel, I could go up higher, maybe to 60% of ARV. So that's how I address the repair situation. It's based off of the percentages of ARV, so I can do quick back of the napkin math. Now, again, as I get into an inspection period and as we go deeper into a deal, I can easily have a conversation with an agent and get my price dropped or renegotiate or retrade, whatever that is. I can make that adjustment later on, but I am addressing repairs. I'm just doing it in a way, no problem, brother. I'm just doing it in a way that, so we don't have to get into these like, okay, how much did the doors cost, and what did the paint cost, and what did the roof cost, and what did the kitchen cost, and what did the bathrooms cost? You're going to take forever doing your calculations like that. So why not just try to get it done fast right in the beginning, and then you can make adjustments a little bit later on. That's the reason I do it this way, so that we have speed. Hope that makes sense. All right, let's call this lady.
Yep. Okay, so this is Tammy Brooks. 215-545-0269.
215. One more time.
215-545-0269.
What's the name?
Tammy Brooks.
Hello?
Hi, is this Tammy?
It is.
Tammy, how are you? My name is Jamil. I'm calling about the listing that you have on 17th Street, 1520 South 17th Street.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like a fun situation. Can you give me a little bit of details on it?
You are?
My name is Jamil. I'm an investor. I fix and flip houses in the area there.
Okay. So the owner let his nephew move in,
Okay,
and he allowed his girlfriend and mother to move in.
got it.
I mean, her mother to move in. And the nephew left and left them in the house.
Oh
So
no.
nobody's paying rent.
Oh boy.
So we're looking on the 17th. He has a lawyer already,
Okay.
the owner, and he hoped to hear something from the lawyer on the 17th.
Okay, so that you guys have a court date on the 17th, or is that?
The lawyer told him to contact on the 17th. He should have some type of answer for him as to where we go from here.
Got it. I imagine that if you guys could sell to a buyer that could just come in and handle the eviction and deal with all of it, that it would be advantageous to you guys, right?
That's why that's the kind of buyer we're looking for. That's why we priced it like we did.
Got it. Okay. Can you give me an indication of what's going on inside?
I am not allowed in.
Okay.
I know he rehabbed it, I think, about 5 years ago. And so, we know how tenants can be. We don't know what kind of shape what kind of condition they've done to the property,
Right. Yeah, it's always and there was a couple there, right? And so if he left and she's there and she doesn't respect the house anymore because she's mad at him, you never know what happened,
That's exactly true.
So I am not working with anybody specifically right now as a buyer's agent. Would you be opposed to working with me as representing me in a dual representation situation?
Yeah, but he's pretty firm on the price. So we've kind of had some calls like this already.
He's firm on the number. I'm actually pretty close to your number. I did some math and I figured out where I'd need to be on this thing. So I'm not far away. And I think that if I could incentivize you guys with time and ease, and had you work with me, I think I could make this work.
Mm-hmm. And what are you speaking of? Time and money?
I'm at 150,000 flat on it, but that would include you representing me. I could handle the tenant situation, and your seller could be done with this headache.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's 25,000 less than he wants, and we don't see it costing us that much to get the people out of there.
There's also the time situation, and we're dealing with the holidays and the market depreciating daily. So there's that they're up against as well. And if you weigh it all out, I still think that there's a lot of value with looking at what I have to offer.
Mm-hmm. And what time frame and what's your best offer?
150 is my number, but I can get it done fast. So if there's,
what's that mean?
2 weeks or less.
2 weeks or less. Let me contact the seller. If you can text me your information.
Will do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for calling.
Absolutely. I'll send you a text, and if there's a conversation that we need to have, let's try to get it done today.
All right. You'll send me a text and the amount as well in writing, and how many days you want to close by.
Understood.
What title company? If the seller decides, what title company are you using?
I actually don't have that offhand right now, but I'll send it to you in the text message so you've got it all. Is there a preferred title company that you have just in case?
No, I mean, it's your you're the buyer, so you have to be comfortable.
I appreciate that. Thank you for understanding that. I will get this done. Send that text over to you momentarily. I appreciate your time and have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll talk soon.
You as well.
All right. I mean, she said her seller was firm on his number, right? Not $25,000 firm. See how that works, guys? It's just tact. You just got to align. You got to find alignment. I'm not trying to fight. I'm not trying to fight with her. I'm not trying to tell her she's wrong. I just want to let's talk about the realities. We're moving into the holidays right now. We're moving into a depreciating market right now. And I think I provide a tremendous amount of value in what I can bring to the table.
Oh yeah,
It was
you could tell the
simple.
time was important to her. Like that, it wasn't as important to her that you had to handle the eviction as it was like how quick you could close. You could see that really was what perked her up.
Because she understands the motivations of her seller, right? I'm not going to get them out in 2 weeks. It's going to take me some time to get them out. That would be, a conversation piece to have. But here's the deal, guys, right? So I get it under contract now, say 150. Now what I got to do is I got to get out there and I got to move the contract. Now I might be able to find a buyer that will take it at like 155. Now that gives me an opportunity to then go back and maybe get an additional 10K off because of the tenant situation or because of timing or whatever that is. I can generate more value for myself. I can deepen my deal throughout the process. But right now I need to get this locked up at a price below MLS list so I have a value proposition for my buyer. Makes sense? Guys,
Yep.
this is you guys just got to see this live, connecting the dots. I got that one buyer out there. What's his name? And he was ready to buy. Mariano's ready to buy right now. And he buys on the MLS and he overpaid for his last deal.
It's true.
He tremendously overpaid for his last deal. Now I've got this house right here and old Tammy Brooks is ready to make a deal with me. I
The other
mean,
cool thing that she said too is they renovated it 5 years ago. So if there's a chance that it's not horrible.
there's a chance, but this guy and her broke up, bro. How much? I bet you she's wiping every one of her boogers under every surface in that house. I mean, all the cabinets have her boogers under it. This lady is not happy at her boyfriend. She's not paying rent. It's booger central in that property right now.
Yeah. Or worse. Well, I like this one. So are you going to text her real quick or?
Yeah, I'm
you
going to
wanna do that
send her a
after the
text
call?
message. Yeah. So I got first what I got to do is I got to get the title company information from my franchise out there. So we'll do it when we're offline, but I got to find out what title company I would normally use in Philadelphia. Send that to her because she was interested in that, and 150 was the number. I'm going to send her the number right now. Instead, I'm going to say, hey, I'm still tracking down my title company, but I wanted to give you the offer in writing so you can talk to your seller. So here's what I'm writing, guys. I'm still tracking down the title company, but wanted to give you the number in writing. I'm a buyer at 150,000, closing in 2 weeks. I'll need 10 days due diligence just to make sure title is clear and the girlfriend hasn't hidden any surprises. Chat with your seller and let's get this done today.
Amazing.
With you representing me. All right. There you go, guys. Done and done and done, right? So now we've got to see, we've got a buyer ready to buy. We've got a potential deal ready to be locked up. This is, and we've been doing this for an hour and 45 minutes. So again, anybody out there right now who's sitting on the sidelines and not making money, if you're not getting deals done, if things aren't happening for you, this is why, because you're not taking action. You're not doing the thing. Now, if you're feeling like, oh, I can't be as smooth as you on the phone, okay, no problem. Listen to this call over and over again. Listen to all the secret agent challenges. I've done secret agent challenge 1, secret agent challenge 2. We've done the Find Ronnie a Deal challenge. There's this live stream. There's the Ryan Zolan deal that we did where we used Privy. There's so many opportunities for you to hear how these calls go. So you can't say, hey, Jamil, I don't have money to sign up for astro flipping. I don't know. I can't learn from you. What are you talking about? I do this live for you guys for nothing all the time. Astro flipping is not just about a course. Astro flipping is a community. Yes, you deserve to be in the best wholesaling community on the planet. But if that's not in your world right now, if that's not in your financial situation, at least get the tool, at least get Privy and get to work. Go make
Jamil,
your 5K. Christmas is coming around the corner.
You're right. I want to mention something real quick because you were talking about being smooth on the phone. I was talking with Mahmoud a couple weeks back, and when he was on, your call, and right afterward, I asked him. I said, "Man, I was listening to you on the phone, and I was like, forgive me if I'm wrong. Please take no offense, but you were really stuttering and looking for your words and just saying things." And I'm like, "Was that intentional?" He's like, "Yeah, it was." He intentionally sounds unsmooth so that he sounds like a normal person on the phone, and he thinks that it converts better because he's not a smooth operator, and that other person on the line doesn't think that they're going to get sold. He's just a normal dude calling on properties, and he intentionally does that because he thinks it makes him more relatable.
I have nothing against that approach. I think that's smart. I think that, the more relatable you are, and but for me, I talk like this.
Right.
This is how I speak. I just this is how I roll, so I can only do it the way that I do it. And for me, what I really do well is I connect with people. Yep. I meet people wherever they are, in whatever level of consciousness or whatever stream of a mood that they're in, and I play in that sandbox.
I think why I bring that up is to show people that it works the other way too. If your approach is just calling, you don't feel like you're smooth, it isn't necessarily going to work against you, because it is working for people who are taking that approach where they're intentionally sounding like that. So if you don't think you're smooth, it's not a reason not to call. Like, get on the phone and call. You'll find what works for you. You'll find whether it is to act like you're uninformed and you're just a normal person, if that works for you, or you perfect your craft, you get smooth, and that works for you. Either can work.
Awesome. What's funny? I almost want to give this deal away to somebody.
And how do you plan on doing that?
This is what I think we're going to do. If you took action today on Privy and you signed up using the promo code COMPIN, she's responding right now. She's responding to this text message about this deal. Here's what I'll do. I'll just, if it works and she likes it and we can get this done, I will hand this deal over to one of the people who signed up today, connect you with my Keegley franchise and the buyer who I talked to, Mariano, and we'll get a deal done. Just get it done. I don't even want none of the money. Y'all can have it.
Oh,
that's what's up. Let's give it away.
That's mind blowing. Okay.
It's what it is. I mean, why not? I don't, bro. I legit. I can't even tell you the blessings I have in my life. An extra $5,000 for me isn't going to do it.
But it's more than a deal, right? You're basically giving them a business in a box, right? Because
Yes,
we've
sir.
just started the foundation of launching a wholesale business in the Philadelphia market. We've done the research. We've taught them what's going on. You understand the areas that are hot. Now they've got a couple agents that are investor focused, right? You've already primed. You've already got a couple buyers that are on the hook. All they got to do is build on top of that. You've already got momentum, you guys. Like this is, we only spent an hour and 45 minutes doing this. Can you imagine if we did this for 8 hours a day, every day of the
Right.
week? How many
Right.
deals you would have in your pipeline?
Insane. I want to let the people hear a conversation with a house that's been on the market for some time, because that conversation is a little different than something that just got listed. So
Mhm.
let's talk to somebody who's got some pain right now, an agent who's got some pain.
Well, let's do the days on market filter, right? So let's say, what do you want, 60 days?
Yeah. 2 months. Brrr, that's cold.
So this is the days on market filter. You just put that there and
We'll
it'll
we'll
find
know that you
listings
signed
that
up
are
because
60 days or
Benson
more.
gets a list of the emails of everybody who signed up today. So if you signed up today, you will be included in that, and we'll personally walk you. Emily, we're going to personally walk this deal over. So we'll use my proof of funds. We'll help these guys get this thing done right across the board.
Okay, here's one that's listed. They just did a price reduction recently. It's been on the market for 64 days. And
How can we see what it's worth? Comp it for
Let's
us?
hide those.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, we're looking at comps right now. The most recent, well, this is actually pending. It hasn't sold yet.
Ooh, but I like it. It's high. Why is it so high?
Let's open it. Because it's a total, redone property. 3/3/11/28. No, it's not totally redone.
It's not totally
they've
redone.
spent
I mean, the
money in the
kitchen's nice.
kitchen, the
It
floorings, the
had a
bathroom.
cruddy bathroom.
It's tiny too.
Can you imagine having to poop in there?
No. You would definitely need a squatty potty to make that work.
Oh boy.
So
The kitchen is
575.
legit though.
Oh yeah, they did some good work there. This one is 755, but that was an off-market sale, so we don't know if they sold that for the lot. Now here's the thing too, right? So in this one, we don't need to get it at the right discount, right? We're not looking to get it at 50% because you're looking for something that is probably overpriced anyway. So there's going to be some solds here that we can use.
Absolutely. That don't show 50%, but at least give us an understanding of where this thing really is, right? So let's look at that one at 425 sale on Hoffman.
So this one right here, so 239, here's some of the other sales that are in the area that are close. Like this one's right on Dudley.
Oh, let's look at that. That looks pretty refinished. When did that sell? Just recently.
Yep, just 1021. It's been updated, not a total rehab. So, there might be even a little bit more room on this, but they've done some work to it. It's okay. That's 323. This one sold for 371, 405. Again, these are all really close.
Okay, let's look at that 10th Street one. We have photos on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of photos in this one.
Guys, this is why Privy is also so dope. You can see the photos. You can get a good understanding of the kind of property that you're dealing with here. So this is a dated remodel. I mean, it's not fully remodeled to today's standards, but interesting. So I think 370, or what was the other sale that you had? 370 again, right?
No, it was lower, 323.
And which one's more recent?
The 323.
All right, we're going to go with 323. So they're listed at 239. 323 is where this sucker is ARV at. We need to be at about 45. So they're overpriced by quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
They're overpriced by about 100,000. So let's call them up.
This one's gonna be fun. These ones make me so nervous, man. I don't know
Oh,
why.
I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. So what's the worst that
I
can
know you're
happen? They
not.
say, no, sorry. Okay, cool.
All right. So the agent's Tom Kelly.
Okay.
Tom Kelly, let's try this number first. 215-768-4656.
Tom Kelly. On Dudley.
Your call has been forwarded. Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Here's another number.
Okay.
215
Mm-hmm.
768
Mm-hmm.
4656. Is that what I gave you last time?
I think so. I'm gonna try it one more time. This guy's he's gonna be like, why are you blowing me up, mofo?
Now you want to offer $100,000 less on my property? Look, he looks mean.
It looks like he goes to the gym.
I think he's an MMA fighter.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 215-768-4656 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Tom, how you doing? My name is Jamil. I'm calling about the property that you've got listed on Dudley Street, 933 Dudley Street. Seen that it's been on the market a minute and just looked at, some of the comps in the area and wanted to get an understanding of the story behind this one. I am looking for a potential project and maybe we can make a deal on this. Give me a call back from the number I dialed you at. Love to hear from you. Thanks. Ha! Figured it out this time. All right, let's see if this guy calls back. Let's try let's see another one. We still have a few more minutes.
Yep, here's another one. It's South Garnet, 152. Needs a bunch of work. Come down to the
Lots of work,
comparables
yeah.
here. Comparable
Love it.
section.
How many days on market?
It is 66 days.
Great.
Guys,
So
we also have to call back that one agent and put in our offer. Remember the proof of income lady?
Oh yeah. We'll call her back.
That was Ramonita.
Ramonita.
So this property right here, there's two fix and flips that are really close. They're both on Tree Street. One sold for 310, one sold for 325. Very similar to the subject. They're all, well, this one's a 3-1. So 310's probably where we want to be. That's the same number of beds and baths as the subject.
Yeah, I like that. So 3. And when did that sell?
April.
Okay, so we got to take money off for that. So 310, going to take off 10%, so minus 31. That takes us to 280. All right, 280 and multiply that by 0.45, that gets us to 126. And they're listed at 152, so we're not off. We're not that off.
That's not too bad at all.
Let's call them up.
All right,
Who's this?
Is Mario.
Who's this person?
Jade Tropia.
Say the name again.
Mario. Jade Tropia.
Okay, what's the number?
All right. Direct 215 783 3698.
please leave your name.
Oh, he just texted me. He can't talk.
Those are auto-generated these days.
Hi, please leave your name and number after.
What's this property on Garnet?
2107 South Garnet Street.
Okay, let's call Ramonita.
All right.
Let's go back and remember what we were going to talk to her about. So let's look at her house again.
So, oh my God, what was it?
Let's get that adult dating chat person out of our chat. Gosh, why do you weirdos keep coming into our live streams and we're real estate investors. Nobody wants to watch your porn.
Matthew D'Antonio. So that was an active listing, right?
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Yes. See, I did something that was awesome. Okay, so this is 1835 Dickinson Street.
Yep. Is that hers?
Yeah, Romanita right here.
Okay.
So let's see. Here's the numbers we were looking at.
Okay. So I'm going to say to her, hey, Ramonita, I ran some numbers on this. It's going to be, just based off the year construction. It's going to be an expensive remodel, but I'm going to be coming in unrepresented. Possibly you can represent me and, maybe that helps your seller or you out. But I'd be coming in at 170. I can come in cash and I can close fast. Let's see what they say. Worst that's going to happen is she's going to say no. And then I'm going to say, okay, no problem. I'm going to keep in touch with you. If it sits on the market for some time, we can, continue to talk. But again, as the market depreciates, my numbers do too. So, hopefully we can make something happen. All right. What's her number?
1 second here. It is 215-833-0300.
Here's the deal, guys. When it's brand new listed, which this is, okay, when it's something brand new listed, you can be within $25,000 of list price and you're okay. It's just when it's sitting 30, 60, 90 days on market that you need a significant drop. You need a significant discount from list price. But when something's fresh, it can be a little bit closer. Okay. It can't be list, but it can be a little bit closer, right? So we still have, $20,000, $25,000 of value to deliver to our buyer, and they can see that it's only been on the market for 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense? Okay. What's the number?
215-833-0300.
Sorry, one more time.
215-833-0300.
Hello?
Hi, Ramonita. Jamil calling you back here on that property on Dickinson.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I have, looked at some of the comps and looked at the, rough estimate on what I think this is going to cost us. With the holidays and everything coming around right now and the timing with the market just depreciating the way it is, I'm interested in buying, but my number would be around 165 on it.
I
Now-
cannot pay for a phone call.
Say one more time.
Put it in writing.
Put it in writing. I don't have an agent. Would you mind representing me?
Sure, you're not in real estate.
I'm an investor, but I'm not a licensed agent. So I'd need somebody to represent me and write the offer.
Okay. Send me your information,
Okay.
name, address, the setup that you want, whether it's
cash or partially mortgaged, and the settlement date.
I'll be coming in cash, and so I'll send you a proof of funds as well, so that you know I'm a qualified buyer. And what email do you want me to send this to?
I'll text it to you.
You'll text it to me? Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get something done today. I'm ready to pull the trigger on a deal. So if we can make this happen, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm in class right now. I just entered. So as soon as I come out, I'll write it up and send it to you.
I appreciate that, Ramonita. Thanks for chatting. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye. I mean, guys, she just sounds scary. She's not, though. She wants it in writing. She's gonna represent me. Do you understand? Like, right there, and I went lower than I thought I was gonna go. I said I was gonna go 170. I said I'm gonna go to 160. She pissed me off a little bit, so I went lower on my offer.
And she didn't just be like, no, don't even submit it. She said, put it in
No,
writing.
she said we want it in writing. That's it, guys.
That's
this is
game.
it. And in the first call, she was like, I will not present anything lower than this. I have all these appointments. And then right now she's gonna present an offer for me, 30K under list. 4 days on market. This is what's up. Guys, if we're not showing you how to get this done, what else are we doing here? Right? This is so fun. And these last 2 hours, Benson, I appreciate the time today. You're a phenomenal human being. Thank you for being and doing this with us. There's nobody that I love spending the mornings with beyond you and Emily. Emily, come on. Come say hi.
I knew
That was
was
awesome.
coming next.
Hi.
Hey.
My sister with 4 eyes. How are you?
Hey, my brother with 4 eyes. I'm good.
Good. You doing well? This was fun.
Yeah, this was really awesome. And I just love watching you do this because like you just glow. And it's like when you watch someone do something that they're really good at, it just makes you feel good, you know?
I get energized from this. And it's like for me, it's I none of this bothers me. It doesn't, even if somebody's going to be like, and I appreciate that, Emily, that was sweet of you. When somebody is on the other line and they're not like, giving me the vibe that I might be hoping or wanting from them, you got to understand, take a step back, right? Don't hallucinate. Don't create in your mind what other people are thinking. She's in class. She might just be a very mellow person. She just might not speak with a lot of enthusiasm. That doesn't make her a bad person. And because of her little bit of her more of an aggressive tone, I went lower in my number because I thought, you know what? Now I'm going to make her work for it. Because she's a little grouchy. She'd been a little grouchy with me. So my offer came in 10K lower than it was going to be when you guys heard I was dialing in line, right? So 165. I'm pretty certain that these things can get done, guys. I'm going to continue working on that deal, and I'm going to work on the other one. Okay, and anybody who took action today, I'm going to give them both away. So we'll see how these work. We'll see how these play out. Also, whoever it is, we want to deliver them the phone number for that buyer because this buyer is ready to go. Right. So there's some people that are potentially wanting to pull the trigger and buy some deals. So let's try to connect the dots. If you guys got some value out of today, do us a favor and hit a W in the chat. Let us see a dub. Give us some dubs.
W.
Yeah, right. This is so fun. Now, again, guys, if you feel like, man, I could really learn from this Jamil guy. I have an extremely incredible mentorship called Astro Flipping, where I spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing this with my squad. And it's the most incredible community of wholesalers on the planet. You deserve it. You deserve to be in that community. So check it out, guys. We'd love to have you be a part of it. Anybody who's an Astro here will tell you it is life-changing. It is the truth. Now, on top of that, if you took action today on Privy, congratulations, because you are not just a spectator, you are a gladiator. You are in the arena and you are doing the thing that is important. We showed you guys how to find potential deals. We showed you guys how to connect with potential buyers. We cold called people. It was scary, but I didn't get scared, and neither did you. You guys got to see value in real time. So rewind this challenge, rewind this call again, and learn, listen to the techniques, listen to the confidence, listen to the words we say. Again, we want to give our gratitude to Benson for taking time out of his day to be with us. Benson, you're a phenomenal human being, and this tool is a game changer in this space. We just want to thank you for creating it, and we want to thank you for showing up today and being the big brother that you are that always helps us get this stuff done.
Oh, it was amazing. I had a blast doing it. I learned a bunch too. You guys, you never stop learning. Like, I've been in the business for 20 years, and I learned a ton today from Jamil. So don't feel like, oh, now you get your first deal, you shouldn't come to these things. You should be at every single one of them, because you will always pick up a nugget from Jamil that you can implement in your business, and maybe just something slightly different, especially in a changing market. You guys, like, many of you probably never have experienced a downturn in the market, so you don't know what to expect. But if you keep paying attention and watching Jamil and coming to these things, you will continually learn and perfect your craft.
I agree. Al, great question. Where did I learn to talk like that way? Just years of experience, my brother. I've been doing this a long time, since 2002. This has been my business. I was a wholesaler before wholesaling was cool. It's in my DNA. So all of that experience I bring to the table when we work together. Benson, Emily, thank you both for your time. And today, this was incredible. I appreciate you both, guys. The replay will be on my YouTube channel. And for anybody that's a part of Astro Flipping, I will see you on the coaching call tonight for another 5-hour marathon of coaching. Guys, imagine if I did this with you twice a week for 5 hours at a time. Imagine what that would be like. Imagine if you could come and get your questions answered anytime. That's what it is. Appreciate you guys. Much love to everybody listening. Love you guys. And until the next time, we out.